I start all my classes with a prayer. So our hands are going to come to heart center, and you can have your eyes open or closed. And I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and just bless the space. So, dear Jesus, I pray that whoever's watching this today cleanses their mind, cleanses their heart, cleanses their soul or their bellies. So after they do this, just this small act of centering yourself, they feel more grounded, more centered, more connected to you and to nature, to themselves, so they can calm their brains and their bodies and go out and bless others more successfully. It's in your precious and holy name we pray, amen. All right, so taking your palms facing up if you need energy for the rest of the day, or have your palms facing down if you need to be grounded for the rest of the day. I need energy. It is morning time here. So my palms are going to be facing up. Okay, so we're just gonna go back to our shoulders, and we're gonna do 3 big shoulder rolls backwards. So we have that 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 big shoulder rolls forward. So we go forward for that 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. So now take your hands, turning them the other way. Go ahead and put your hands on your right thigh. So grabbing your right thigh, and then go ahead and take your foot all the way out to flex, and then release. So flex, and then release. Flex, and then release. Flex, and then release. Flex, and then release. Placing it down, maybe shake it out a little bit. So my mother-in-law is here with me today. So if you hear me talking to her, asking her questions, just bear with me. So the other side, you're gonna grab your thigh on the left side, and you're going to lift your leg up, and you're going to flex, and then release, and then flex, and then release, and then flex. Does that hurt? And then release, and then flex, and then release. So depending on how old you are, if that is too much for you, that's okay. So I've been doing yoga for a really long time, but if that hurts you to do that, you don't need to grab your thigh and bring it up and flex and release. You can just lay your foot on the ground and then flex and then release, and then flex and then release. So let's try that one more time with our heels on the ground. That was a little bit much for her, which is why I love having her in studio when we do this. So what do they say? Killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? So lay your heel on the ground. So you'll flex and then release, and then flex and then release, and then flex and then release. Same thing, other side. So placing your right foot back down into the center of the earth, and taking your left foot out, resting your heel this time on the ground. It's kind of a good gauge for me. So we're going to flex and then release, and then flex and then release, and then flex and then release. Awesome. All right, so taking your hands on your knees, you're gonna go out and then in, out, and then in. One more time, out, and then in. I was up high on my toes. Now my toes are coming down to the ground. We're going to start with our left leg here. And if I'm going too fast, I apologize. You can go at your own pace here. I'm just your guide. So do what feels good to your body, and everyone's anatomy is different. So we're gonna start with our left knee, and we're gonna bring it up and over. Then we're gonna bring it back up and over. This is preparing us for warrior 2 in the chair. Up and over. Last time, up and over. Awesome job. Now planting your left foot down into the ground, lifting up your right knee. You're gonna lift it up and over, up and over, up and over. Last time, up and over. Awesome. Now pushing your knees together, go ahead and push your knees together as hard as you can. Releases the hips just a smidge. Now come up high on those toes and then relax. Come up high on those toes and then relax. Come up high on those toes and relax. Last time, come up high on those toes and relax. Awesome. So now we're gonna go into warrior two in the chair. We're gonna lift our left leg up and over, scooting forward just a little bit on your chair if you can. Now, some of you might stay here and that's fabulous. And some of you might be able to either drop this leg or take this leg out to what's called a warrior two position. So my hips are actually squared evenly with the chair. And again, please have a yoga mat underneath your chair. If you don't have a yoga mat underneath your chair, you might slide right here just a smidge. Okay, so now I'm anchoring down. You root to rise. So I'm anchoring down here, then I'm rising here with my arms. My shoulder blades are pushing out and away. You can have your gaze go forward, or you can look to the left where your knee is and make sure you can see your left big toe. With each exhale, push down into that ground just a little bit more. And then arms come down, and then if you need to lift your legs, no shame in my game, just lift your legs back up, right? Now we're gonna switch, and we're gonna take our right foot out and warrior two into the other side. So my right foot is now out. I'm coming forward onto the chair just a little bit more. I'm dropping this right leg down. My hips are squared to the front of the chair. Check to make sure that your feet are firmly planted down on the ground before you then lift. So it's called root to rise. So I'm rooting into the chair, then I'm rising here. So I'm rooting, then I'm rising, and I'm pulling my arms on each side of the room. And your gaze is gonna go over the top of your right fingers if you can. You're gonna sit down with each exhale into that, making sure all 10 toes are on the floor. And then your hands are gonna come back to center. And again, no shame in my game if you need to pick up your feet. Go ahead and pick them up. Now shake it out, or shake your toes out. Now go ahead and shake out your shoulders, okay? Then we're gonna do a couple deep breaths. So we're just gonna inhale like the ocean, and exhale like the ocean. This time I want you to push yourself back into your chair just a little bit. I want to check your diaphragm and make sure you're breathing appropriately. So when you inhale, I actually want you to feel it going down, okay? When you exhale, so when you inhale, you should feel it kind of going down, and then exhale for that release, okay? Inhale like the sound of the ocean. Exhale like the sound of a wave. Last time, inhale like the sound of a wave. Exhale like the sound of a wave. Awesome job. Now please do not pull on your neck, but take your right hand and lay it onto your right temple. Your left temple, dropping your right ear to your shoulder. You're not pulling at all. You're only using the weight of your head. I think we learned in Jerry Maguire, if you ever saw that movie, Jerry Maguire, your head weighs 8 pounds. So be careful here. Now we're gonna inhale back to neutral. Exhale, bringing the left arm up and over, resting it on our right temple and taking it down to the left. So see if you can stack your left ear over your left shoulder. So it's not a forward or it's not a back, but your left should stack over your left if you can. Now we're gonna exhale, hands come back to heart center and shake out your shoulders. You should feel more aligned and secure and steady into that body already. Go ahead and pick up your toes and let your toes fall. Pretend like there is a shelf underneath your chin now, and you're gonna look with your shoulder blades down and away first, all the way over to your right shoulder. So your chin should be able to get to your right shoulder. I don't endorse massages or chiropractors, but I do get them and I love them. Now come back to neutral. As you age, you lose range of motion. We're gonna now take our chin to the left side. I have a little bit of a kink here, so my left isn't going all the way over to the left. So I'm gonna show you how to do it yourself. Come back to neutral. You're gonna take your 3 fingers on your left-hand side first, and then you're gonna place them behind your ear, and you're just gonna drag them down your neck. So we're just gonna do 1, place it behind your ear, drag them down your neck. We have 2. Last time, place them behind, drag them down your neck. We have 3. Okay, take your other side, 3 fingers on your right-hand side. Place them behind your right earlobe. Drag them down your neck for 1. Drag them down your neck for 2. And drag them down your neck for 3. Awesome. Hands come back to neutral. So that is draining that lymph system. So I won't do TMI on here, but I will say that you drain and you sweat from your armpits, your hands, and your feet. And I was talking to a friend today, but if you have on an undershirt, I want you all to look underneath your armpit, and you should have, it should go in, right? And sometimes they go out if your lymph system is not working appropriately. So now we're gonna take our 3 fingers on our right-hand side, and you're gonna lift up your left arm just slightly, and then you're gonna place them underneath your armpit inside where that hole should be. You're going to gently squeeze 1, release, 2, release, and 3, release. Okay, coming back down to neutral. Now lifting up the right arm, take your 3 fingers on the left and put them underneath that armpit. You have that 1, release, 2, release, and 3, release. Awesome. Getting into that lymph system. Please drink a lot of water today since we've done those. All right, so just go ahead and I always roll or shake, and that's never in any of my yoga books, but it makes sense, right? Just shaking out, feeling where you can feel. And then our hands are gonna come actually to our hips, and see if you can plant your left foot down. A lot of you might not be able to do this. Please do not be hard on yourself, but see if you can pick up your right foot any way you can and stack it over your leg. If you can, fabulous. If not, that's okay. This is called half pigeon when we're on the floor, or figure 4. If you can't, that's okay. On the floor then, you're just going to take your foot on the right-hand side on the edge of the floor. So go ahead and place your foot all the way down onto the floor. And the edge of my foot, there we go. So this is figure 4 or half pigeon, and then coming back to neutral. So planting your right foot down, see if you can put your left foot up and over that right knee. Some of you might not be able to do that, and that's okay. Give yourself grace. The more you do it, the more you will be able to do it. If you cannot do that, that's okay. You're going to then just simply place your foot on the edge of that foot, modified figure 4, and then just kind of lift, and then place it down onto that edge, and then lift, and then place it down onto that edge, and then lift. Awesome. So coming up high onto that chair, I want you to grab both sides and scoot yourself forward just a smidge. And we're gonna pretend like we have a string coming all the way out the top of our head, okay? Our palms are gonna be facing up here. So same similar thing, but now we're gonna take our arms down, coming up into what's called Tadasana, this mountain pose. So my feet are anchored down into that ground, and then I'm gonna take my shoulder blades down and away, and I'm gonna push my head forward through those arms just a smidge. See if you can now interlace your fingers and then push up into the sky. Good job. And then shoulder blades down and away. Exhale, release. Good. You okay? Okay, we're gonna do that 2 more times. So anchor your seat down, root to rise. Pretend like there's a string coming out the top of your head. we're going to lift our arms up and over into Tadasana, mountain pose. So our shoulder blades are down and away. Our feet are planted down into that ground. Now see if you can interlace your hands and go up, getting deep into those shoulder blades, and then release. Awesome. Last time. If that's too intense for your shoulders, this last time we're only going to do Tadasana and we're not going to interlace our hands. Root to rise. Anchor down in your seat. Pretend like there's a string coming out the top of your head, lifting up with a deep inhale. Shoulder blades down and away. Exhale out through your nose or your mouth. Awesome. And then hands come back to neutral. Awesome, you guys. Great job. Okay, we're going to take our hands to heart center. We're going to push here. Elbows are going to come out to the sides of the room. Activate your abs. So pretend like you're putting a C on or a belt. So my abs are activated. I'm going to see if I can take my right elbow back. My left elbow is coming up and over. My hips stay square to the front of the room. Then I'm going to exhale, come back to neutral. Inhaling, same thing, other side. Take your left elbow back, your right elbow forward, hips stay square to the front of that room. Exhaling, coming back to neutral. Hands come to the center. That's a lot. Shake it out. This is super fun, and this is great. It wasn't really hard to push play, so we'll probably keep doing this, so when you can't drive here in the winter, you'll be able to push play on YouTube. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna have our hands resting back. Now we've already done the shoulder rolls backwards and we've already done the shoulder rolls forward. We're just gonna feel the difference now in our body. So root to rise, root down into the chair. We're gonna go 3 backwards. We have that 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 forward. Here we go for that 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. We're gonna keep this one short. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to do a reading out of my Grandma Jenny's favorite book. She has since passed, but she had a yoga retreat when I was a yoga studio with Loa Freeman that she taught at. It was called Success Natural Yoga and Image Center. And I was 14. So think about how she was pioneering the way, you guys. I'm 44 now. Talk about like pioneering, right? And just doing it when it really wasn't around a lot. So this is the book. It's Louise Hay. I love this book. And I just kind of pray over it, what anybody needs to see or hear. And then I stopped on this page. I have no idea what it says, but you will soon find out. So it says, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am always divinely protected and guided. It is safe for me to look within myself. It is safe for me also to look into the past. It is safe for me to enlarge my viewpoint of life. I am far more than my personality, past, present, and future. I now choose to rise above my personality problems and recognize the magnificence of my being. I am totally willing to learn to love myself, and all is well in my world. That was a good one. I liked that one. That was good. So my studio, if you want to follow us on Facebook, is called Yoga Infinity, #the studio, because we also teach dance in here to the little kids. Would love for you to follow along. Please like and subscribe to this video or share it with a friend. I end all my classes with the word namaste, which simply means I honor and see the light and laughter within you, and you honor and see the light and laughter within me. Go ahead and get out into the world and shine your light. We humbly bow our heads. Namaste. Bye, guys.